Hey there, I'm Laura Rachel, and I'm the founder of Phoenix Rising Life. Not long ago, I was in a tight spot my own self, was recovering from hardship, was trying to rebuild, and not just financially, but from the inside out. And this journey taught me that even small steps, taken with the right strategy, can create lasting change. But this story, it's not about me. This is Sophie's story. And if you've ever wondered if tools like life insurance could work for someone like you, someone starting small, this might just shift your perspective. So meet Sophie. Sophie is 27 years old and she lives with her family and works full time on their farm. And she brings in about $32,000 a year, and she's incredibly intentional with how she spends it. She crochets, she bakes, and she's living very simply. So she wasn't interested in chasing trends or high stakes investing. She just wanted to make a smart move with the money that she could spare. Life insurance wasn't even on her radar until we had a conversation that changed the way that she saw her future. Sophie had a quiet kind of curiosity. And she wasn't just chasing wealth so much as she was planting roots. She had hoped there might be a way to build something slowly, steadily, and without giving up the life that she loved. No one had ever shown her that life insurance could be used to build wealth, not just protect it. So when I introduced her to the concept of an IUL, it wasn't just new information, it was a new possibility. At first, Sophie was going to choose a pretty standard high yield savings account. Her parents did it, so why shouldn't she? And that's what she'd been taught. So it was safe, it was reliable, it was a decent retirement play focused on security for later years. But then she met someone who asked a quiet but powerful question. What if you're designing protection when you could be building potential? She showed Sophie side by side designs using Sophie's same monthly contribution, but with radically different outcomes just by shifting the way that the policy was built. And that's when it clicked. And this wasn't just about tweaking numbers. It was about rethinking what's possible for people like Sophie, people who start small but dream deep. That someone Sophie met, that was me, Laura Rachel. I started Phoenix Rising Life because I'm on a mission to educate people about the financial possibilities available to them wherever they're at in life. I believe that security and financial growth should be available to everybody, and it is. You just might not know it yet. That conversation sparked a transformation for Sophie. She stopped seeing insurance as a static product and started seeing it as a living tool for empowerment. When I sat down with Sophie, I didn't just plug her into a template that creates retirement income. I asked her, what if we built this to grow with you, to give you access, flexibility, and long term value without asking you to spend more? That's the design shift. It's not just about growth or protection anymore. It's about giving everyday people the power to build wealth on their own terms. And it's without sacrificing the life that they love right now. This isn't about policies or savings with me. It's about the potential of the people that I'm serving. And to me, every policy is like a blueprint. I build it for growth, flexibility, and a future that my clients can actually feel empowered by. Here's what really opened Sophie's eyes and what might open yours too. She was already setting aside about $150 a month. So we looked at two common paths. We looked at a high yield savings account versus an IUL. I mentioned that earlier. An IUL is an indexed universal life policy. So in the high yield savings scenario, she'd earn about 3.6 interest that compounds daily. And then after 30 years, that gives her a taxable balance of about $97,526.84. So it sounds good, right? But when she takes that money out, she could owe around $21,456 in taxes. And that's leaving her with only about $76,071 in hand. Again, not bad, but that's it. There's no living benefits, there's no death benefit, definitely no tax protection. And let's look at the IUL now. So you get the same $150 per month, but it's structured for tax advantage growth. It has compounding interest that's linked to a market performance, not fixed bank rates. And at the 30-year mark, her net value is $174,651. That's non-taxable. Plus, she's covered with living benefits in case she were to get seriously ill or hurt, and a death benefit of at least $160,000 to ensure that her loved ones are also protected if something were to happen to Sophie. So it's the same monthly amount, two radically different outcomes. One is saving and the other is building. And that's the kind of shift that puts people like Sophie on a whole new path. IULs, indexed universal life policies, were once a secret of the wealthy. They were used quietly to build tax advantage wealth and protect legacy, but they're not out of reach anymore. Sophie started with $150 a month, and now she's growing protection, access, and a legacy of her own. And the key is working with someone who knows how to design them properly and checks in with you because life changes. And when built with care, IULs are no longer just for the wealthy, they're for anyone ready to rise. When Sophie realized she could borrow from her life insurance policy without asking for approval, without penalties, she could build tax-free cash value and still leave something behind. Something in her shifted. She no longer felt stuck. And with that peace of mind, Sophie began to bloom in ways that she never dreamed of. So the worry eased, the freedom grew, and life got a little bit lighter. And that's not just policy design, that's the power of possibility. So many people are doing their best to save for retirement, but they've never been shown that it's possible to grow their money without risking it in the market. That's what I do. I open the door to strategies that most people don't even know exist, tools that offer protection and possibility. I help my clients grow deep financial roots, the kind that last for generations, while still having access to their money when they need it. It's not just about waiting for the future, it's about building something powerful right now. My clients start right where they're at, some with just $150 a month, others with $1,000 or more, feeling faster growth. But no matter the starting point, the seeds are worth planting. With an IUL, you're not just saving for retirement, you're building a flexible financial tool that adapts with your life. Your money grows tax advantaged, and you can access it without penalties, even before age 59 and a half. Want help with your child in college? An IUL isn't restricted like a 529 plan. It can help with tuition or with a car, home, or a business launch. It's flexible, it's private, and it won't count against FAFSA. So, with a well designed IUL, you're not choosing between future dreams and today's needs. You're building both. And just like Sophie, you'll start to see that harvest isn't just possible, it's already growing. So, if you're like Sophie, doing your best with what you have, caring for your family, and quietly wondering if you're ever going to get ahead, let's take a look at what your $150 could become. Because it's not just about savings, it's about building freedom, freedom to live, to give, to grow, and without waiting for someday. This isn't just about numbers on a page, it's about planning a future that you can feel good about today. And like any good seed, with the right care and the right guide, it might just grow into something greater than you imagined. If Sophie's story spoke to you, you're not alone because what she discovered is something most people are never shown. And that it's not about having a lot to start, it's about starting with what you have and letting it grow. So if you're ready to explore what your $150 could do, drop Sophie in the comments or click the button and book a free session. You don't need to know everything right now. You just need to be willing to take the first step. So let's plant your future together.